Let me see. You should be able to hear me clearly right now. Okay, good. Let me go towards my whiteboard. Um, Hold on a minute. Yes, you should be able to see me clearly. Okay, here I am. Okay, so me, Oridosset Comercit. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. If you're Italian, just call me Emiliano, perfectly fine. All Italians I know do that. And in this live stream, I want to address how t- how you how that means what you can do to never be at the wrong in the wrong place at the wrong time. But for now, please hit the like button, share this live stream, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, donate the links below. Thank you very much for your contributions. You can book a session with me, a one-on-one consultation. Check the fees and instructions description box below. In short, for a common individual is $200 for 5 hours. If you're a diplomat in the military or in government, is 500. Yo, if you're higher rank, you're gonna pay up. Uh, uh, Apart from that, you can check my novels on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, wherever you can find them. And as you know, I published a lot, and more is coming up also. But for now, I want you to pay close attention to this live stream, take notes, pray about this afterwards, and where this knowledge applies in your life, you apply this knowledge to glorify Heavenly Father. All right? Now, how many of you ever heard the phrase, "Oh, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time"? How many of you heard that before? Let me know in the live chat. My screen's all the way over there, so I can see someone put something in the live chat over there. So you can type in the live chat. I can see it right over there. I just walk there to see what it is and come back. But for now, I'm going to make the notes on the whiteboard to teach you. So we're going to start with a simple parable. A guy called Ben. Okay? Ben over here, he's 50, happily married, and he's about to catch up with his friends. So they're about to go to um, they're about to go to Tokyo in Japan. There's Nippon or Nihon, Japan and Japanese. Okay, so they're about to go to Tokyo for 2 weeks. I mean, they've been to Tokyo together when you were in the college years. But so they thought, hey, it's been like a while since we've been to Tokyo. So let's go again. Now, to get in Tokyo together, I mean, because Ben visits Tokyo with his family a few times in between. But anyway, Ben, together with 10 others, so 10 friends, is about to visit Tokyo. Now, what needs to be arranged? First of all, the plane tickets. Each one of them needs to meet up together. So whether they're in Dallas, Texas, or in New York City, New York State, anyway, they need to figure out where to meet. Or if they're in Europe, they may have to meet together at Stockholm, Sweden, or at Madrid, Spain. Anyway, they need to come together first. Then, from place to come together, they need to book a flight together all the way to Tokyo. So they need the plane tickets, need the hotels, they need visas if needed. Often you don't, if you're from certain countries. So yeah, they got the plane tickets, they got hotels booked, they also have pocket cash with them, so cash you can spend, and they don't need any visa, so hey, they're ready to go. So they meet each other in Stockholm, Sweden, and from Sweden they all fly together in the same airplane to Tokyo. I believe it's Narita Airport, that's closest there. But anyway, they arrive at the airport, they check their passports, everything is fine, they're allowed to the country. They arrive at hotel. Man, things are fun. But they're there for 2 weeks, right? First day is all well, man. Just going to city, check the cityscape of Tokyo. Second day, they go into a sky tree. Also, take some selfies over there, some reels for Instagram. Also, the third day, however, one of them goes missing. And the odds are normal. He'll show up, maybe he went to a bar, he's drunk. Second day, fourth day, that one guy, Jeffrey, is still not back. On the fifth day, it's almost been 2 days now, they get worried. So they call the police. They find out this guy, long story short, the same day they check the places, they find the body. One of the friends, Jeffrey, was killed. And the police told them it was right in the wrong place at the wrong time. The police suspected there was a drug deal taking place, and Jeffrey likely just walked by a bit tipsy, and maybe one of the drug dealers didn't want any witnesses, and they stabbed him to death. That's what the police suggest happened. Anyway, they fly out of Tokyo earlier. Of the autopsy has been conducted, and the crime scene's been investigated. They leave Tokyo, go back home, and yeah, now the group of friends have to tell the wife of Jeffrey and his children that their husband and father ain't coming back at all. At the funeral that happens in less than a month, there are many tears, so much grief, and the widow said it should be the time of his life, meeting up with his friends again. How did this happen? And the children kind of were numb, didn't know what to do. So that's what happened. So let's go 5 years in the future. Or better, 10 years in the future afterwards. 10 years after Jeffrey was murdered in Japan. One of his sons was 11 at the time, he's now 21. And a 21-year-old now goes to Japan to the same location where his father was murdered 10 years earlier. Back in the day, we were just 11. So let's call this guy Mark. Jeffrey's son, Jeff was the guy that the friend was murdered in Japan. When Mark was just 11. Now Mark's 21. He's at the same spot where his father was murdered, the exact same street. He looks around, and he also looked at the media footage at the time. The place didn't change at all. It's the same. There's no construction took place. The street is the same way. The buildings are the same way. Maybe some people moved around, so people aged. He also walked from the bar that his father attended all the way to the spot at night a few times. And he realized, hold on a minute, this is a busy street. How the hell did nobody see the perpetrators? How the hell did nobody catch this CCTV footage? So Mark immediately realized that this is a setup right over here. But the thing is, Mark now, I know this parable is a bit long, but bear with me. Mark now realized, hold on a minute, why was my father by himself that night drinking at the bar to begin with? Now, long story short, Mark now realizes that his father indeed was at the wrong place at the wrong time. But then Mark remembered from when he was still a child that his father was often the target of ridicule, or people talking bad about him. After his father passed away, Mark remembered people suddenly began to speak very well of him. But even as a 11-year-old, Mark knew very well a lot of people in the neighborhood. The son spoke so well of his father, Ned spoke well of him when he was still alive. You can remember them talking behind his back, murmuring all that and all that. So Mark, who's now spiritually awakened, realized that his father was a dead man walking all along. It's just that it manifested in a different location. Now, there's a parable right over here. So again, Ben, and one of the friends over here is Jeffrey. He ends up dying. Okay? Now, why do I give this parable? Think about it. You have 10 friends that want to go on They want to go on a vacation together. They check the tickets, the hotel, everything. One thing they didn't check was the weather, because if you arrive at a time that is snowing, it's not the best time to rent. But anyway, what Ben and those other 9 friends with all 10 should have done was they should have gone to prayer and fasting and checked the energetic climate before they went to that place. I mean, if you're about to go to the supermarket, but you see it's raining outside, you may put on a raining coat or umbrella, or bring an umbrella with you. If you're about to visit your grandma in another town, but you may check the weather to see where it's going to snow or not, or whatever. Because if it's about to snow, it may not be the best to drive over there. You may take the public transport, or you may decide to go on another date. So in the natural, you always check the physical weather before you go to a place. Because if you want to drive somewhere and it's storming, it's better, it's not safe to go. If you want to go to a place but there's a hurricane coming, maybe delay a little bit. So in the natural, you should always check the weather before you go to a place physically. Well, that's understandable. Just like you should always check the weather, because the weather is a determining factor. You should check the energetic climate. The energetic climate is similar to checking the weather. The weather is the physical condition in the atmosphere, the temperature, and the movement of the clouds. That's what you check when you check the weather. Now, in ancient times, you would look into the sky and check the clouds nearby. Today, we're able to do weather forecasts even weeks ahead based on patterns, what likely the weather is going to be. So we have a bit easier today. You should always check the weather before you go to a place. But the thing is, the energetic climate is the Earth's is the energetic condition in the Earth's atmosphere at the location. So you have the physical weather, which is the condition of the clouds and the air and the physical air over there, and then you have the energetic climate, which is the energetic condition of a location. Let's say you want to go to let's say you want to go to a supermarket. You can be at home and you meditate mentally on the supermarket. Your energy field gives off an echo, gives off radiation to the earth, forms an echo. And within minutes, you may feel heavy on the inside, out of the blue, like you're so exhausted, or maybe even feel pains in your body. And you think, what the heck happened? Your health is perfectly fine. You have no medical condition. So why do you feel that? That's an echo coming back to you. It could be at a supermarket. There's a lunatic with a gun ready to shoot the place. It could be that a lot of people there are quite bitter and nasty over there, or and they have a very dark climate. Or it could be that some of the food there is poison that you're about to purchase. Whatever it is, there's something off with the supermarket at that moment. You don't know what it is, but you pick up something is off. That's why you feel this danger. What happened? You did an energetic inquiry. You checked the energetic climate of the supermarket. And because that you may decide, I'm not going to that supermarket right now, I'm going to another supermarket. And what do you know? A month later, you find out that a lot of the meat of that supermarket you want to go to a month earlier had some bacteria in it. Or you may hear that there was a shooting took place the same day and hour you want to visit the supermarket, but decided otherwise. You may want to go to work by bus, but while you're at the bus station, you get creeped out and you get the urge to walk to work. I think, man, if I walk to work, it'll take like an half hour. I could be there in 10 minutes. But you decided to walk anyway. You arrive at work right uh, around the time you have to arrive. And right when you walk into the door at the workplace, you hear people murmuring, complaining about another colleague. You've heard the manager murmuring, complaining. So there was a toxic climate over there. You didn't overhear the full conversation, but you kind of hear like they wanted to find a way to get them fired, all of that. And he called in sick the next day, actually the next few days, because you don't want to be at the workplace when the day was going down. Now, you, if you would have taken the bus to work, you arrived ahead of time, at the start of doing your work, you wouldn't have noticed the weird conversations because you would just be doing your work. But then you would have been at work when something bad went down, and later something bad goes down, it turns into a crime. Now you have to be a witness in a court of law. So because you were sick those days, when they set up that fellow colleague of theirs and it went wrong, and a police investigation started, you're not around because you were sick around then. So you should always check the energetic climate before you get involved into a situation. The same way you check the physical weather before you go to a physical location. Listen, um, checking the weather is common sense because you can avoid accidents on the roads. We can avoid becoming soaking wet. We can avoid delays even. Or you can avoid going to a vacation and it's raining all the time. So now your vacation's ruined. So it's important to check the physical weather. More important than that, check the energetic climate. In the parable I gave earlier, Ben, as well as Jeffrey and the other 8 friends, they did not check the energetic climate of the place they wanted to go to. And here's another thing. Jeffrey himself in his life, he had a lot of negative contention against him. A lot of people saw him as the joke around. He was, long story short, the scapegoat. He was the one everyone ridiculed or talked bad about. And there was no good reason for it. It's just that he was the easy target. And people got used to it. Since the time he was a teenager, people did this towards him. It actually began when he was 8 years old with his auntie, with his aunt talked crap about him, and his parents didn't step in and defended him. When he was 8 years, his aunt, talked crap about him into his face to other people, but the parents didn't tell about his mother, didn't tell her sister, hey, listen, you don't talk to my little 8-year-old son like that. You hear me? The father also didn't correct it, so the parents allowed it to happen, and since then, more adults felt comfortable talking crap about him. And before you know it, at school, the other children at school began to talk crap about him too. So it became a pattern in his life. People talk crap about him. When he was 20, at some point, he won a competition and he got a scholarship. And because so many people were talking crap about him for years now, all the people talk crap about him. When he won a competition, when that good outcome happened, I'm going to draw it right now. It's actually happening back then. So when Jeffrey at age 20 had that breakthrough, all that heaviness that was around him, that people projected onto him, it all crashed back onto the other people that were emitting those negative energy waves towards him. So then there was a big crash happening to all these people because he had this good outcome. He won a scholarship. And with his scholarship, he went to college where he actually met those other 9 friends of his, including Ben. So Jeffrey had the breakthrough, age 20. Age 8 is when this tension against him began with his aunt talking crap to him like trash. Around age 11, it kind of became common for adults to talk negative about him. At age 13, pupils at school didn't do it too, fellow pupils. By the time he was 20, even strangers never met him before felt heavy around him and they felt comfortable treating him a certain negative way. So by age 20, it was kind of the norm and established people treat him in a less way. When he insisted and got his breakthrough, that good outcome, the negative tension crashed back onto the centers. So there were around 500 people who suddenly got headaches, they fell upstairs, they had car crashes, some of them even had to go to the hospital out of the blue. So you had all these crashes happening when he was 20. And for about 1 year, nobody around him, people began to avoid him. Because remember, during his teenage years, he had this heaviness around him. Age 20, it crashed back. It was cleared around him. So, but the thing is, there were crashes with over 500 people. Eventually, when he was 22, things go so smoothly for him. People began to associate the crashes and deaths they encountered with him. Because the negative tension that linked around Jeffrey, it was negative energy waves that went over there. But all that heaviness that linked around him became negative energy pressure. But because the negative energy pressure was not around him anymore, it now crashed on all these other people. Some died of heart attacks, some developed diseases, some fell off of stairs, whatever. Everything, things went wrong. So a lot of these people and their surroundings that experienced all these crashes don't realize that, whoa, this Jeffrey everyone talked crap about, everyone looked down upon, is now doing quite well, and all of us doing bad. So they saw there was a link. The link was their heaviness that they were generating towards Jeffrey crashed back on them. It was their own fault that they should have been doing this to begin with. Jeffrey had all the right to have a breakthrough and move on with life. Now, Jeffrey wasn't even aware people were generating negativity towards him. He wasn't even aware of it. He was just living his life. He had a breakthrough, things crashed. Jeffrey wasn't even aware of it. But the people here, as well as their surroundings, began to blame Jeffrey. So eventually, around age 23, it all began again. All this heaviness generated around him. But around this time, Jeff already graduated for his bachelor's degree, then later for his master's degree, and he moved away from that place. And he eventually married and all that, but the negative tension remained around him for years. I would say decades, even. So eventually, when he was 30, it happened again that the backfire took place. That's when he got married. And then, when he was 32, his first child was born. Then, every time a child of his was born, there was a backfire again. So, when he was 40, that is, you can say, 10 years before he was killed. When he was 40, over 2,000 people had a backfire, and people thought, enough now. This guy needs to go. And people all over the country, in this case, Jeffrey's Americans, all over the country, there were over 2,000 people that simultaneously began to go rage at him for weeks. And there was such a heavy contention developed that he was marked for death. People decided he needs to go. He needs to die. We shouldn't want him around anymore. The neighborhood where he lived, also people felt this death sentence on him. So people now joined the negative tension by also being upset with him for no good reason. So Jeff had all of this accumulating in his life. When he took that airplane to Japan, most attention lingered around in America. But some residue of it went with his entry field all the way to Japan. His other 9 friends felt a bit heavy around him, but didn't mind. So when he walked down the street with some of that residue of heaviness in his energy field, that residue of negativity, of heaviness, it clicked with the desperation of these drug dealers. And that's why they walked with one another unaware, and a clash happened that became fatal onto him. So Jeffrey being murdered, it isn't just the drug dealers that thought, oh, he's a witness, what we're doing right now, and shot him. First of all, he was shot in public, so all the people around there couldn't stop it. The murder was the result of decades long of negative contention, and a decade long of a death sentence that the public agreed upon him. So, but the thing is, the place he went to in Tokyo was negatively charged also. If they would have gone to a place in Tokyo that was a bit more light, that wouldn't have happened. Then this Jeffrey would not have walked into the wrong place at the wrong time and be killed like that. So Jeffrey had to check his own energetic condition, and the group also had to check the energetic climate of the place he went to. So this how it goes out there in daily life. Even if there's net contention in a place, if the energetic climate is low and you walk into it, but your energy field is healthy and high vibration, that's a clash in itself. But because your energy field is in high vibration, the clash either keeps you away from the place or the people there just avoid you, whatever. But if there's a negative contention in a place and your energy field is damaged and low also, that's a click. So now misfortune, tragedy just overtakes you at that location. And that's the thing though. Jeffrey didn't check his own energetic condition, neither did his wife and the relatives around him, and neither did Jeffrey check the energetic climate of the place we're about to go to. So it was an accumulation of things that led to him dying so early. So him being killed like that was not a sudden incident, like a lot of people claim it was. Now, the drug dealer that shot him, that was sudden on his part, but himself dying early was not sudden. It was all accumulation of built of negative energy over time. Now, why this parable? Because you need to understand, bad things don't just happen. Accidents are sudden tragedies. They're sudden in their occurrence in the physical, but they're not sudden in how they unfold. A sudden tragedy, what we call an accident, it was in the making, sometimes months or years ahead. If a place has a lot of negative energy pressure on it, and you walk into that place, you'll face some hinder of it. But the thing is, if you are energetically in tune with with how God made you, you would avoid the place to begin with. So what I'm saying is that to never be in the wrong place at the wrong time means that you need to be energetically healthy. So you need to be in a high emotional profile mentally, and you stay in high vibration, operate in high vibration, be around other people in high vibration. Also, energetic increase, check the energetic climb before you go to a place. And before you even arrive at the place, command and decree peace out of you. You do all these things, you'll never end up in the wrong place at the wrong time. So if someone's in the wrong place at the wrong time and they ended up being murdered or they end up being stabbed or they end up being set up or falsely accused, whatever, I'm not blaming the victim. Whatever people did that towards that human being should never happen. However, that human being got enough warning symptoms to figure out something's off. If that human being would take a countermeasures, then even something bad would have occurred, and something bad would never harm them that much. So self-reflection and self-care is important, y'all. Quite important. Okay, let me wipe this out over here. Marty, I'm not going to stay here very long because I need to go now. So, but anyway, how many of you, hold on, how many of you ever ended up in a bad situation and you wondered, how the heck did I end up here? Or you visit a place and after you return, it's like things keep going wrong in your life over and over again. You walked into a heavy, a place with heavy contention, and you also somewhere were not at your best energetically. So that click led to this accident happening towards you, or this click led to things going wrong over and over again. So again, we're not victim blaming over here. I'm calling out how things function in the earth. And you should know how things operate in the earth because you're an earthling, you belong to the earth, and you'll be on earth forever. So you should, but when Christ comes back, everything's going to be good anyway. But for this lifetime, with all the heaviness around us, you have to be aware of your own energetic condition and the climate you're in. Absolutely. Are there any questions about this topic? Let me know in the live chat. Are there any questions about this topic? God is good, y'all. And we thank you all for being here. Keep believing in Christ. Be at peace. Don't links